Very important right now for you to take 1 second and hit that like button. Help push us through the YouTube algorithm. And then it's also equally as important to pound on that bell notification, hit that bell notification and click all. That way you stay up to date on all my latest videos as the inflationary depression that I've been warning of opinions, because I am not a financial advisor. This is just my overall thesis of the market, right? And as we get into it now, you can see the XRP price is now sitting shit together to the shit house. If we look at XRP, you can see it's still in the same sort of range. We had a little pump because we were talking about a possible pump since over the weekend, and you can see we did form a little pump there. You can see the moving averages are running parallel, all three of them. The 100-day was moving up, it started to run parallel to the price. The 50 days moving down started running parallel to the price, and the 100-day, which is squeezing the price, the volume is still declining, even though you had a little bit of a pump right there with some volume as you had that little swing run up that from the bottom right here over the weekend to the top. Today was about 11% pump, and it's up about 8% at current price. And you can see down here is where we were looking at that little mini peak in the volume, but you can still see the mean of the volume in orange right there is still running down and still descending. You have your underneath support at 37.5 cents, overhead resistance at 50 cents, your major pump target that we talked about this weekend that was unlikely but it had a chance at 66 cents, and then you have that major red traded area, which is the volume indicator range between 29 cents and 32 cents. If you're on any kind of catastrophic breakdown of the 37-cent level, that has been major support and resistance since the great consolidation following the great dump. Following the great dump in early June back here, you see this? The great dump in early June, followed by the great consolidation right there. And then after we broke this great consolidation of 2022, right there, it flipped it from support to resistance, long consolidation, flush, and then finally we broke back through right here. But like we were talking about when the price action matured down there, that this blue traded box was going to be major upper resistance, and it has been. And right now we're trying to see if this price can have some fortitude and fight its way back up into here, or if we're going to ultimately come back down here to this 37 cents and then try to see what happens, as we have an end of the year target of 18 to 20 cents, which got close to being met back here. When we hit 29 cents, we came within 10 cents of our major target, and that prediction was made back in 2021 in about September of 2021, so about 13 months ago. And that's what we're looking at in the XRP price. If we look at the Bitcoin price, you can see we finally did get a little bit of a pump, a little bit of a volume pump. Like we were talking about, we bounced off this 19,299.31, and what we need to do now is after this pump, we need to start to turn these moving averages up direction like that. You can already see they're trying to turn up, and then we would have to bounce the price off of it, build the base, and then continue to the upside. And that's definitely a possibility, and something that we were talking about over the weekend as being possible. As we look at the 4-hour time frame, that brings in our upper resistance target of 24,837, which has been a couple of resistance points back here. We sold off up there, we sold off, and then we dumped. Then we had a little bit of a pump here, but got rejected again and consolidated right along the top part of this blue area, where you have the 16, 6, 5, 8, and 11 cents as major underneath resistance or underneath support in this blue trading area. The 19,299.31, that current area we bounced off again, and that's a major double bottom low from back here after the great June dump. And you may ask yourself, well, Vincenzo, why is this such a major traded area that you've been talking about? Because if we just come back into the Bitcoin price and we unlock this and we actually move this all the way over, you can see, and then we relock this. Look at what's been going on here. When we had the old all-time high in 2017 in December, when we had the blow off top, I hate how that does that. When we had the blow off top right here, you can see what did it hit. It hit this blue traded area and then got forced down and had a big bear market, right? Then we came up in a huge bear market rally. See this classic bear market rally? You have a big dump, then we have a big pump, and it comes up just shy, and it's a big bear market rally, and then the price comes down and sideways. But you can see that area was starting to act as overhead resistance. And then when we finally had the final pump where we had the COVID dump, the Fed pump, and then when we were going to break the old all-time high, we came right up against it at 19,059, and you can see we had a dump, then we came back up again, then we had another dump, and then we finally went through. So you see how it was major overhead resistance on the way up right there. And in 2017, what do you think it's going to do as the price is trying to come back down after being overinflated, and it's running back into this major traded area that was resisted twice, 3.5 years apart on two major pumps? It's going to act as major support. There's going to be buyers down there, and there have been buyers between that 16,658, 19,299, 31, and that's why you've had all this trading, because if we are to fire through here and eventually move in to a new plateau in the price, in a new area of the price action, I don't know why that's so weird how this doesn't move, and it wants to come down to our 13,336 target that was made when the Bitcoin price was at 19,000. You can't just fire through a major traded area, a major support or resistance area. You have to trade through it, and that's what we're doing. Some of the buyers buy in after it hits the bottom, right? Take some of the buyers out of there. Come on. It takes some of the buyers out of there, right? Then it hits it again. Oops. Then it hits it again right here, get some more buyers out, because there's a wall of buyers. Some more buyers come up, but you see the sellers come back in. And then we've taken a lot of buyers out. Eventually, even if this comes up into here, it's going to eventually eat up all the wall of buyers down here if this bear market continues, and it'll drive the price down to the next level down, which is the orange traded area, or the last line of defense, aka get my shit together zone. And then you can see Ethereum, we were talking about over the weekend that this could be a possible pump, where again, after the great June dump right there, we hit this blue traded area and this green fib circle, got major support along the 1,089.95, and then we traded our way back through it. But as we do know, when we hit this red area, which is the volume indicator, mean of the trading range, when we're coming from underneath it, it acts as resistance. Oops. Resistance, right? But then when we were trading down here, we were back on the top part of this blue traded box, traded through this fib circle, right? So we didn't get rejected, or we didn't blow up by it. We traded through it. We put an alert out over the weekend when we were right in here that even if we came down a little bit, we had an upside potential of 1689.59 or 58 on some kind of a pump this week with the Fed and some of the bullishness that was coming out of the markets, or the markets anticipating, or the markets interpreting things a certain way. And this is a major area of upper resistance at 1689. And today Ethereum had the best day out of the bunch, up about 12.5% with our industry exclusive measuring tool from our swing low yesterday up to the swing high today. It was actually a 22% pump, a 3-day pump, but a 12.5% day today. And you got your major underneath resistance, or underneath support, at $1,089, like we went over from back here. And this is your major overhead resistance, which again, conveniently enough, the 200-day is just above it. By tomorrow, the 200-day would be there. If this consolidates and pumps up, this would be a great area to get rejected at 1689.58. Like, subscribe, and share to my beautiful audience. Peace and love. Stay educated and alert.